Chase Ledger of Southland Academy is ready for the high school baseball playoff run.
Welcome to the Integrity Sports Podcast, covering local sports in the Southwest Georgia area, creating content that is factual, positive, and informative, promoting efforts by athletes, coaches, and sports administrators. Now, here's your host, Tim Estes.
Thank you for making the Integrity Sports Podcast a part of your weekly routine as we discuss sports-related topics that are of interest to people in the Southwest Georgia area. Let me remind you, if you're watching today on Facebook, please like this video and share it with your friends. We are also trying to build our YouTube presence, so please go to YouTube, type in Integrity Sports Podcast, and hit the subscribe button. It really helps us when you do that. Our guest today is Southland Academy senior Chase Ledger. Chase has been a multi-sport athlete for the Raiders during his high school career and is now preparing for the GIAA Class AAA baseball playoffs. Chase, it's good to have you with us today.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Chase, let's get started by going back, and you may have to help me out here. I don't remember if it was your 8th grade year or your 9th grade year.
Right.
But I do remember it was one of your very early varsity sports memories. I'm at the recreation park. Your mom's there watching your brother. Your dad's with you at the high school baseball playoffs. And I just remember seeing your mom jumping up and down and hollering, and she came over and she said, "Chase just hit a bomb." And I was that the 8th grade or the 9th grade?
That was my 8th grade year, actually. That was the second game I had ever started pitching, and I went the whole game. And I gave up an absolute bomb to a guy. He hit it. There was a softball field next to us out in right field, and he hit it all the way to home plate. That's probably the biggest thing that I remember about that.
And then you hit your home run. That had to be a great way to get your varsity career started.
It did, and the funny thing about that is I had not had a lot of at-bats that season, and I didn't know the signs. So I thought Coach Brady gave me the bunt sign, so I bunted the first time and got through it in my head, and I ducked out of the way. And so the second time I was like, I don't think that was the bunt sign. So I was swinging. Turns out it was the bunt sign, but all worked out in the end.
Yeah, it turned out a little better. And then let's fast forward a little bit to your sophomore year, and correct me here if I'm wrong, because I'm just going on memory here, but I think it was your sophomore year in football. You had a 75-yard punt, which at that time may still stand, was a school record at Southland.
Yes, sir, it is. It was a new record at the time. It was just one of those. I had punted well that whole week going into that game, and I just caught one perfect right off the foot. It was an end-over-end punt, and it rolled. It probably rolled 20 yards. It was a good one.
Chase, talk to me a little bit about what it's meant to you, not just to wear the uniform, but all your high school career, from 9th grade all the way to now in the 12th grade, to be a key part of many of the athletics there at Southland, not just baseball, but football and even for a little while basketball.
Right. Well, I guess it started my 8th grade year. My first appearance in baseball, I came in and Adam Smith had pitched the whole game against Valwood, and it was a big region game. And I came in and I closed that game, struck the guy out. It was fun being a part of something big that early and being that young. It teaches you a lot. Go to the 9th grade year, that's when COVID hit for baseball, and we had a really good team that year. We were 7-1 when COVID hit. But that year I only kicked on the football team, really. I got a few reps at linebacker here or there. And then basketball, I don't know. Basketball was always just fun for me. It was something that was not stressful for me.
So until this past season, you would go straight from football into basketball into baseball, and that had to be exhausting.
It was. Very tiring. I will say that playing basketball, especially my junior season, which was Coach Foster's last season there, and we had Buddy and Carmelo and Hudson. We had to fill out a thing for Southland the other day. Your favorite memory of being at Southland, and mine was definitely junior year basketball season. It was it was fun to be around all the guys. And, basketball for me was always just, I could go in and play defense. I wasn't very good at offense at all, to be honest. You'd box out a few people and just, I was really just a bench player, wave the towel on the bench and yell and scream and get everybody hyped up. But it was basketball was always fun.
Chase, you and I really got to know each other through the summers with the America's Travelers Baseball Club. It's been a lot of fun to get to watch you grow and mature. What I want you to talk about now is how playing at such an elite level in baseball during the summer has prepared you for the upcoming playoff run.
Right. Well, leading up to playing with you, starting at 13U, I'd always played, just fun travel ball, with your friends during the summer. And that was, you build a lot of friends and family that way. But 13U year with you and Coach Funtime, it was really a whole different, 180 to what I was used to. Just the intensity at that level is so much higher than the intensity, somewhere else. But, what that teaches you, especially our last season, it teaches you that, when you lose games, it doesn't really define you, as a team. And just, keep moving forward because, we lost a game last Friday to Terrell, which I don't think we should have lost, which would have, if we would have won that game and we won yesterday, we would be region champs right now. But, leading, things fell a different way. So we win Friday. It's in the air. We'll see. But stuff like that really just teaches you to keep a level head in times like that. It's really fun. But, the biggest thing I took away from playing with y'all was the friends and the relationships you build during the summer.
Chase, speaking of that, you talk about playing Terrell Academy, and you got Gavin Lacey, who was one of your catchers for many years, is now at Terrell Academy. You look over at Deerfield, who's another team in your region, and you've got Chewy Willis and Thomas Ray. So going into these games, these region games this year, that these teams have some elite level players.
Well, we knew Coach Brady said first off from the beginning of the year was that the region was going to be a struggle. And our first series of the year was Brookwood, who we're tied with first right now. We split that series, and it was close. But playing, teams like Deerfield and Terrell, where everybody is just fun, just playing out fun. Seeing your friends after the game and taking pictures and talking to them, it's just, can't beat that.
Absolutely. We appreciate everyone watching the Integrity Sports Podcast. Our program is made possible today by Marty McDonald State Farm Insurance. They're located at 925 Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard here in Americus. Go by and see Marty and his staff, and they'll be glad to sit down with you and discuss your insurance needs. You can reach them at 928-3686. And as always, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Chase, we've talked a little baseball and may get back to some of that, but now I want to switch gears a little bit. For the past 2 seasons, you've been the quarterback for the Raiders. And let's be honest, Chase, when folks see you, they don't automatically think quarterback. Your body style is, your body type's more like probably a linebacker or a defensive end. But what's it like to play quarterback, that quarterback position for a guy like Coach Rod Murray?
Well, playing with Coach Rod is fun, especially during the games. Me and him, we'll really get into it with each other, not meaning anything by it, but we'll get into it with each other. But playing quarterback for Southland has just been, it was one of those opportunities that I had that's just, something you can't beat anywhere. The biggest thing that sticks out to me playing quarterback for Southland was the Deerfield game my junior year, which, Deerfield and us, it's always going to be, there's always bad blood
that's
there.
The big rival every year.
That's right. And that was like our second game of the year. And we really didn't know, what we were or how we were going to do. But just that game, it was just, it was fun. You couldn't beat it. It was awesome.
Chase, you made the decision after your junior year not to play basketball anymore. So you go into your senior year, and you choose to work on your game as a baseball player. And I know you went down and worked out a lot with Jonathan Martin in the PPP program. I want you to talk a little bit about that and also talk about what went into your decision not to play basketball.
Right. Well, I figured I really knew the returning people we had for basketball and somebody who was coming in, Michael Terry, that, having me and not having me was really not going to be a huge hurt to the team. I would have loved to have played and loved to have been around the guys again. But, especially to be around Coach Douglas because he's a great coach too. But it really just gave me the opportunity to just, be a fan. I had not really been able to be a fan or cheer for anything my whole entire high school career. But I figured if I was really going to try and make a run at this baseball thing that I was going to have to, take out my senior year of basketball to really take the time to work on my baseball stuff. And Jamar over at PPP really helped with that a lot. I mean, just working out with him for 2 months, my fastball velocity went up from towards the end of last summer, I was 81, 82, topping 84. To the beginning of this year, I was 83 to 85, topping 87.
Yeah.
So, stuff like that, it really shows just taking, 2 months of taking something off of and just working out really shows.
And Chase, I want to give you a chance to really throw some positive vibes toward Jonathan Martin. I mean, this is a kid that played college baseball at Georgia Southwestern. He's got a passion for helping athletes. Mm-hmm. And we've had several of our Travelers guys that have worked out with him. Of course, Coach Reed Ragsdale's also worked out with him. But tell me a little bit about the program that Jonathan runs.
Well, I'll say that with me and Perry would go up there together. We're down there together to Albany on Wednesdays, and Perry would drive, and that would just always be the highlight of our week because Chewy would be there along with Davis Coleman would be there too, and a guy named Landon Missamore. And that's what made the Deerfield game so much fun is because all those Deerfield guys were there working while me and Perry were there working too. But really the thing about Jamar is you can text him at 11:30 at night, if you have a question and he'll answer you right away, and you don't feel, right when you go to something like that, you might feel a little uncomfortable, here or there, but he's just one of us, really. Yeah. He's very easy to talk to.
Yeah, today's program is also brought to you by our friends Mike and Connie Gurley at the Shred Shed. They provide professional document shredding, and it's always at an affordable price. You can reach Mike and Connie at 938-2520, or you can contact them on their Facebook page. Thanks again to our friends at the Shred Shed. Chase, one of the things I do every week on this program is I give my guests a chance to talk a little bit about their family. I know you've had a huge support network with your immediate family, mom, dad, and brothers, but also with grandparents, with uncles, with cousins, with your girlfriend. Tell us a little bit about all of your family and what it's meant to you to have their support.
Well, what's crazy is when I guess you could play T-ball at Crisp County whenever you were 3. And I remember sitting on our couch in our living room and I was bawling my eyes out, not wanting to play. And my grandma Ellen was there that night with us. And they just, go to the first practice, see how you like it. And then, you can make a decision then. If you really don't like it that much, then it is what it is. But I went and then I fell in love with the game. And, something that sticks out is with my papa is, he doesn't miss much at all, whether it be me, Cade, or Avery. But what I really remember about Papa is going and throwing with him. Because my dad was, when he was young, he was blinded in one eye. Yeah. So he never really got to play baseball because he wasn't really allowed to. He just played football. But Papa was a good baseball player whenever he was in high school. So, me and him got to throw, and I would hit sometimes with him. But just to have that kind of support group, to always support you no matter what your decision was.
And Chase, what I've gotten to know about your family, not only are they supportive, they want you to be coached. They're not the type of parents or grandparents that gets upset when a coach gets on you. They realize that it's for your betterment. And, man, it's been cool to watch, especially, I knew your parents would be there for everything, but to see Your grandmother, Ellen, come from Butler so
Mhm.
many times, and then your papa makes so many trips. That's been really neat. Talk to me a little bit, too, about your brother. He's an up-and-coming athlete there at
That's
South.
true. Well, he's just a baseball football guy. He's never really liked anything during the winter. Um, he's a hard-nosed kid. He'll probably wind up playing center for Southland. He'll be a good baseball player, but he's tough. He's smart. He's probably smarter than me, to be honest. He talks a lot smarter than I did when I was that age.
That kid is tough. I tell you
He
what,
is.
I wouldn't want to get in a scrap with him for sure.
And the thing
Well,
about
Chase,
him is he understands a lot more at that age than what I did as far as like videoing and talking to who you need to talk to. We always used to joke around. He's also a lot better with money than I am too. So we always used to joke when I was younger that he was going to be my agent when I got to the MLB when I got older.
That's right. He doesn't have a girlfriend yet to spend that money on either.
No, that's right. That's right.
Hey, Chase, as we wrap things up today, I know that several schools have started to show some interest in you for playing baseball at the college level. Can you give us an update on where you're at in the recruiting process?
Right. Well, my first offer was Andrew College in Cuthbert, and that was awesome, to get an offer. And then Piedmont offered me it was cold when we went up there, so it was during the winter. But they talked about coming and watching me play up at Lake Point with the Travelers, and then Albany State has offered me, and Coach Hemmings and Coach Reynolds over there, they really have a good program. They win a lot.
Absolutely. No decisions yet, I'm assuming.
No decisions yet. Maybe we might have one the beginning of next week.
Okay, that'd be great. We'll keep an eye on that. Chase, it's been great to have you. It's been great to get to know you. I hope that we can talk again as we get into the baseball playoffs. Want to wish you the best of luck there. Anything before we sign off today that you'd just like to say to the folks that have supported you?
Just a really big thank you, to my mom and dad, my little brother, and Papa and Grandpa Buddy, and Ellen and Ruby, of course, who comes to as many as she can. She, Ruby only likes to come and watch me when I pitch, really.
I get it.
She doesn't like to come to the other ones. She only likes to come when I pitch.
I get it. Well, Chase, thanks for joining us. It's been great to have you. And again, we'll look forward to watching you in the playoffs, and hopefully we can update our audience on how you and the Raiders do. Want to thank everybody for watching the Integrity Sports Podcast this week. We are also brought to you each week by WMNZ AM 1050 Radio out of Montezuma. Chase, what they do is they take the audio off of this program and play it on their radio station each week on Thursday. So thanks to Lance Teal and the fine folks at WMNZ AM 1050 Radio. You can catch our show weekly on YouTube, on Facebook, and on 8 other podcast platforms. We had our best week ever last week, and this program is growing rapidly, averaging over 1,000 views each week. This past week nearly hit the 3,000 view mark. So, Chase, make sure and tell your friends at Southland to watch it. Go to YouTube and watch it for us, and y'all spread the word. Again, thank you for being our guest.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
We'll be back with you next week. So for Chase Ledger, I'm Tim Estes. Thanks for watching. So long, everybody.